Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday. The S&P 500 was down about 0.75% today. Was down a lot more, actually. In the morning, it was down up to 2% at one point in time. And then we got the news about the tariffs with Mexico being halted for a month after the two presidents spoke and what have you, too. So still have 25% tariffs, being proposed starting tomorrow on Canada. We'll see if that gets postponed also or not, what happens there. And then, of course, 10% imposed upon China. So, the problem for the market here really is just, is this a negotiating ploy, kind of like what we saw with Mexico, where they agreed to send 10,000 troops to the border? Or is it, something more of a short-term, tariff that eventually gets negotiated away? Or is it something longer term? And so those, obviously we don't know how those are going to play out. Longer term tariffs and maybe even shorter term tariffs that are actually there, we might start to see those impacting, companies' bottom lines in terms of earnings. So if you increase the cost of something and put basically a tariff on it, say of 25%, as a company, you've got to decide, okay, how much can I pass along to the consumer? Can I raise the prices of my goods that need this particular product to make by 25%? Or is the market not going to be able to absorb that? And so if you're going to spend 25% and you can only pass along, say, half of that to your customer, you're going to end up with a situation where your earnings are going down. So that's we'll probably have to wait until we see earnings if these tariffs actually do come into play, see how they impact the situation. Because the 25% is so high, to be honest, that it's almost impossible for me to imagine that you could pass that along to the consumers directly without some alternatives. There may be some other alternatives that are coming in from, say, Europe or something that don't have the tariff, and all of a sudden everybody's buying those. And so you've got to be, careful of what you can do in terms of raising your costs if you're in a competitive market. And so I think this is going to, play its way out. The market, I think, was sort of a muted response today at 2% and then ending up, down three quarters. We've been through this before. 2018, they put out $350 billion worth of tariffs. The market did drop 19.6%. But it sort of reminds me of the debt ceiling arguments. If you remember, the first debt ceiling argument was back in 2011. Market dropped 17%. And then we've had several others since then. And every time they kind of resolved themselves, the last debt ceiling argument, the market was down 3%, which is, pretty much normal. Honestly, can happen anytime. Heck, even last Monday, we were down more than the tariff piece here. We were down 1.5% based on that DeepSeek AI, model that came out. So, these are normal motions in the market. Being down three quarters today, that can happen on any day for any reason whatsoever. So, but these are different. We'll have to watch and see how these tariffs play out, how the market reacts to them also, because again, a couple of weeks ago, we hit the all-time high on the S&P 500. We still have those tariffs from 2018 for the most part still here. And so, does it really impact the market, the economy, the earnings? Let's see. And sometimes there's a lot more fear than what actually happens. Sometimes there should be more fear, like when Lehman Brothers went under. But that is still important to kind of keep it even look at the whole thing, keep a level head, and let's see how this plays out. So far, really a lot of noise and not a lot happening yet, so we'll see how that goes. So anyway, that's what's happening today. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow is an official day these tariffs are supposed to kick in. What happens in terms of negotiations and those types of things. So look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thank you.